Hi there guys, Viper here and welcome to the channel. Now today's video is on the mods that I use for, well, better gameplay, more events, more options to do whilst in game, and just to make the game a little bit more fun during the mid game where it gets a little bit boring. So today I'm going to go over which mods I use, which I personally find are probably the best out there. Now I'm just going to quickly load up a new game. Any game I do. Now I'll be Earth just to show you, because I gather most people during their first or second playthrough probably do use the United Nations of Earth, but as you can see there's a few here. Now I've only got active at the minute Leviathans, Distant Stars, sorry, Leviathan Story Pack, Utopia and Apocalypse. For this playthrough that's all I'm going to put on. I would put the others on, but it's just too much to deal with at the minute. Like, it's too much for you to tell you about, so we'll just keep these ones on for first. I highly do recommend for your very first DLC, Utopia. Out of all of them, Utopia is the one you want to get first, because mega structures. Do I need to say more? Mega structures, yeah. So Utopia is the one to get. So let's just quick that. Let's do that. It's not eligible for achievements because I've got mods active. So just leave it as it is and start a new game. As you can see, the background image is different. That's because of the mod that I have on. Now as it loads up, let's give it a second. Now here we are, and as you can see, my Stellaris is probably a little bit different to yours. Now let's just get rid of all this for now. First things first, Giga structures. Now this mod is called Giga Structural Engineering. Now as you can see, each one of these does a different thing. Now I'm not going to go through each and every one of them for you, because as you can see there's loads, but basically this is how many mega structures you can build. So unlimited mega structures if you want unlimited mega structures. Obviously everything else explains what it is. Output, cost, upkeep, obviously. See there's it starts different. You can change this yourself to whatever you want. And then you have these at the top, presets. Now, yeah, I've not had a little mess with this yet because I've only used it a couple of times to get structures. And then there's vanilla. Now vanilla is basically how many you want. So you could have 2 interstellar assembly, 2 matter compressor, 3 matter, infinite. But do you really need all them? When I just tend to play, I usually just tend to put this on 2, so I have 2 each. And then obviously the habitats. So the hive can have a ring world, the machines can have a ring world, they can update the ring world. And then last, oh sorry, I forgot kilo. And then kilo, which is obviously your kilo structures, your mega structures, and then these new ones. And then last but not least, we have Giga, which is the Giga structures, obviously. Now these are obviously new toys for you to play with in game, like the Nickel Dyson Beam or the Quasi-Stellar Obliterator, and also ships and terraforming. You can change quite a lot in Giga structures to do with the base game to give yourself more access to more structures. I highly do recommend Giga structures. And again, that is called Giga Structural Engineering. That's what this mod is called, Giga Structural Engineering. Highly do recommend it. So I'm just going to leave all that like that and just confirm. Now this one here is called, obviously, Gorill's Planet Modifiers. Now, this is an amazing mod. I really cannot say, you need to get this mod. You do. This is a mod that you do need. So, you can change the number of modifiers. Oh, see, max 1. Low. Default recommended, so I'll just leave it on that for this playthrough. Galaxy age. Now if you set the galaxy early, then obviously there's not going to be as many ecological dictates for yourself, so I tend to leave that old. And then you've got your planet size, so about scaling, not the planet size, sorry. I usually just leave all this. And then your options. Now, as you can see, it says enable capital modifiers. So that means it is not enabled. So I need to click enable capital modifiers till it says disable capital modifiers, and when it says disable when it says disable capital modifiers, that means that you have got it active. Look, see, click this to forbid mini mega structures to spawn. So if I click that, then they won't. So as you can see, they're all set like that. Now I'm not going to mess with that because that's basically how you want to play the game yourself. So I've got this set up basically as it comes, really. But you can change it. I think I did change a few Neo. I think I did enable the mini mega structures and the precursor one. I think I had to enable that as well. So they were enabled. You know, the modifiers and the Fallen Empire, so they were enabled. I think I did that as well. I can't remember because this is like, well, I've played it a few times with this mod, so yeah, I can't actually remember. And then start the game. Now that's two mods that I highly recommend. Now the other mod I highly recommend is Tiny Outliner. Tiny Outliner makes it so much more manageable, especially when you've got like 30 planets or something and you've got to scroll through every single one of them in that box. Yeah, no. Tiny Outliner is definitely one that you want to get for your ease of comfort, like, because like everything's not massive. I mean, it's not massive. That's probably the same size, actually, I can't remember. But as you can see here, these aren't massive. Now you do miss a few things down here, but it don't matter about that because when you ever use them anyway, and these ones are better. But Tiny Outliner is another one that I highly do recommend. Like, I can't express enough to it. Now another mod that I have on is called the More Events mod. Now the More Events mod makes it so basically, like, do you know when you're going around the galaxy and you come across like a archaeological dig site? That basically makes it so like almost every other system has an archaeological dig site or an anomaly or like anything really. You can come across wrecked titans, wrecked battleships. I'm not too sure if it's the More Events mod or if it's another mod, but you come across a massive tank on a planet. So yeah, it's really good, really good. Them four mods are definitely needed. I highly recommend them four mods to anyone. Now another one I have on, which you're not going to be able to see it because it's like for hives, that hive mind sort of like guilds and that lot, is the expanded guild hearts Forgotten Queens. I mean that's what it's called. And that gives you more like hive mind options if you're a hive mind and stuff like that. Now that is basically a unofficial DLC for Stellaris, so I would get that one as well. There is another one, but I can't think of the name of it. I think it's called Alpha, I'm not too sure. There is another unofficial DLC for it as well, which, to be honest, I think Paradox actually took a few ideas from these and used them like in future, well, not future, like, but the DLC that they did bring out. So they're the four mods plus the unofficial DLC, the Forgotten Queens. They're four mods plus that DLC, unofficial DLC that I play with every time. Every time I play with them. Now I'm going to end this video here because it was just basically to let you all know about the mods that I use whilst playing Stellaris. Now I'm going to continue this like video, but I'm going to do it in another video, and it's going to be the like say first 2 or 3 years of the game and what you should do once you do start the game for you are new. So you can basically get into the game Stellaris because it is a fantastic game. It is a fantastic game. So that's basically all the mods that you need to know. Well, there is other mods out there that are highly recommended, but them ones that I've listed are basically the ones that you really need. Just like, especially Tiny Outliner. Tiny Outliner is just amazing. A More Events mod, amazing. Like them two alone, you've got to have them two alone, really. And then the Giga Structural Engineering and the Gillies Planet mod are the two boxes that I had at the beginning, before the game even started. As you can see, I'm still on the first of the first 2200. So the next video will be us continuing on from here. I'll explain all the options, all the side parts, all the top part, everything, edicts, policies, all that stuff, and we'll go through it bit by bit, and we shall make it easier for yourself and those who are now coming to Stellaris and would like to get immersed and involved in the game Stellaris, because it is a fantastic game. It's like you could even have a mod installed where you could be Star Trek or Star Wars, and you could play it as a Star Wars or Star Trek or anything. There's even a Warhammer one, which is a bit crazy, where you're like at war with the whole galaxy because you're the Imperium and man. But hey, people do like a challenge. But there's loads of mods out there, so don't just try these mods. Try other mods, like whatever you see and you like the fancy of, put on. Now I must explain that most mods actually will not allow it for you to have achievements. The user interface mods usually do allow you to continue to get the achievements if you are going and hunting them achievements, but to be honest, the ease that you get within the game, it's worth it just to not get the achievements, because the easeability of it and that it's just so much easier. It just makes it so much easier yourself, especially later on when you have like loads of science ships and construction ships, and then you got all your military fleets, and then you got all your planets, and then your habitats, and then your ring worlds, because obviously you got Giga structures on, so you have loads of them, and then you've got your like gateways and stuff like yeah, wow. It's like, with these mods, you won't get bored and have nothing to do, and it's also a lot easier for you to build tall. You know, instead of building wide and have a massive empire just to support your needs that you need, your resources, you can build tall instead. What else I'll tell you what I will explain as well while I quickly here before I do go. There's also on Stellaris, as there is on mostly every Paradox game, if you press the teal key, you will get all the console command. Now the teal key, if you watch my CK video, you'll know, is the one above the tab key and below the escape key. Now this is your console command as it pops up. Now you can put stuff in here and it will change the play of the game. Now I never use this. Like, I never ever use it in Stellaris because you don't really need to because of the mods and that you have on. But you can get the codes to put in here and it will, like, well, you'll cheat basically. There's no other word for it, you'll cheat. So I might do a video on that as well about them, like I did on the CK3 video. But this video is just for this. But before I do go, a quick word from our sponsor, because I forgot at the start of the video, the like button. So please, you have watched it to the end, please go down there, give that like button a little slap. It does help me out here at the channel. Gets more views on, more eyes on screen, so to say, and it does help the channel. And thanks for watching to the end, guys, and I shall see you all in the next video. This is Viper signing out.